Nostalgia is probably one of the most harmful emotions you could have. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's good. So here's the thing, we all experience nostalgia almost all the time. You get it from walking past your old school, you get it from looking at video clips, and there's Instagram reels where it's like, oh, Christmas in the early 2000s, Christmas in the 90s, this and that. I want to get right to the nitty gritty. Here's why I think nostalgia could be very detrimental. The very pernicious aspect of nostalgia is when you glorify the past so much. Oh, the good old days, back in the early 2000s, back in the 90s, back in the 80s. You glorify it and you romanticize it. And you essentially decide in your brain that was the best time ever. You know, pick your favorite decade, pick your thing that you're so attached to, your childhood, the Christmas morning in the early 2000s. Times were so good, times were so simple. That was just the best era ever. And what happens is, once you've decided in your mind that was the best time and that's the time I want to go back to every day, you are neglecting the present. You've just thrown out the present as though it's whatever, today sucks. I just want to keep doing things, buying things, talking about the glory days. When I hate to break it to you, but the glory days are right the F now. Your past, you can think of it as your past is a museum, not a place to live. I enjoy the Natural History Museum that they have in DC, looking at the fucking creation of the world and early shit. I love looking at the history in the past. I ain't trying to live at the fucking museum. This is not Ben Stiller, Night at the Damn Museum. Rest in peace, Robin Williams. It's a great place to visit. The past and your nostalgia and your happy childhood, or whatever the hell childhood you had, or whatever era is your favorite, it's great to visit, but don't stay there forever. And also, we tend to, like I said, we romanticize the past. So we pick out the best parts of our favorite era, and then we casually forget the parts of that era that were bad. Like I always romanticize college, and I'm like, damn, if only I could go back. And then I think, wait a minute, no way in hell do I want to go back. All them damn essays, sleepless nights, walking to class every day, lame ass classmates. I don't want to do that again. I'm done with the homework. I'm done with the discussion posts and the, oh, I really agree with that. Oh, I like the way you I'm done with that shit. And I'm glad it's gone. I love that era. It was such a special time. So many incredible memories and people I met. I started my career in that era. I'm done with it now. Like, I'm on to bigger and better things. So when people are talking about the good old days and they're referencing some decade in their past, people in the 90s missed the 70s. People in the 2020s missed the early 2000s. There's gonna be people in 2050 like, damn, I missed 2026. I remember when they just came out with ChatGPT. I remember when they just came out with this and that in 2026. That was crazy. People are gonna look back on this decade with nostalgia. I look back on my childhood with nostalgia. I look back on my middle school, my high school, my college, my early days in LA. I look back on every decade with nostalgia. I'm gonna end up saying the word nostalgia like 8.5 million times. But the other thing that I think makes nostalgia negative is when you're constantly comparing things of today to things of the past, you're always gonna feel lousy about today. It makes today feel worse when you're comparing hip hop songs that dropped in 2016. If you're comparing it to the songs today, yeah, it ain't the same. Music they made back then, it just doesn't compare to today. And yeah, they're different things, it's different eras. But you could find a new song today from a new artist, play it this year, and then in 15 years, you'll hear that song again and it'll take you back to 2026 and be like, damn, I remember in 2026, I was playing this song and this happened. I discovered Rhino's YouTube channel where he was giving like life advice rants and shit. Man, that was a good time. And then that channel blew up to 100 million subs and he got super famous and started dating Ariana Grande. It was crazy. And people think they miss these eras, but a lot of times they miss who they were in that time frame. It's like, yeah, they miss college, but they miss who they were in college. They miss what they looked like. Because you can revisit those same places, but it ain't gonna be the same because the people aren't there anymore. I went back to my, whenever I go back to my hometown and I visit the same places I visited as a high schooler. After our soccer games, we would go to the Chick-fil-A in La Plata. And it's the same Chick-fil-A, but it ain't the same Chick-fil-A. It's because the people that were in there at the time that they were there is what made it so special. I could order the same chicken sandwich and sit at the same table. It ain't gonna hit the same because all the people that were around me on that day, that year, they all got families now. Like, they all moved away to different states. Nothing is the same. And that's like beautiful and sad. It's sad because, damn, I can never get that again. But it's a great opportunity. But it's actually great because you can do all that today. You can make new memories with new people, have new adventures that you'll then get to look back on. And I think that is the real central point about this particular video is your future self deserves nostalgia too. You're gonna be 60 at some point and you want something to look back on and reminisce about. So if it's 2026 and you're so hell-bent on reliving 2016, then by the time you're 60, you'll have missed the magic of 2026 and 2027 and 2030. So yeah, just stop trying to make this year feel like a different year. This year is this year. Make it feel like this year. Do new random shit that can give this year its own identity and give it its own fucking flavor. And then in 20 years, you're gonna look back and be like, damn, I remember in 2026, I did this, this, and this. Make this year a year worth wanting to come back to. I don't know how many of you guys are stuck feeling like, oh, I want to go back to high school. I want to go back to college. I want to go back to elementary school. And I want to go back to my mother's womb and suck my thumb. Sometimes that does sound nice. I would like to sit in a crib again with no job, no taxes, no obligations. It sounds peaceful, but things have changed. Like, make this year and make these next years the best years you can. That way, when you're in your rocking chair, you can think back about how sweet these times were. Because again, any time that you spend thinking too much in the past, it's wasted time. People think they waste time when they, I don't know, sit in bed all day. But really, you waste time when your mind is anywhere but present. Because you were just in your head for 5 hours. That time's gone. You were somewhere else. So take this time to not waste any more time and just be in the present and enjoy the year. But nostalgia is cool and it is fun and I love reminiscing and I love talking about the glory days, but damn it, we're in the glory days right now and we're gonna look back on these days with so much fondness. So keep having fun in this era, and even if your life is stressful right now, just remember, when you look back on today, it might not be as stressful as you think because your mind's gonna pick and choose its favorite memories from this year and this era. The same way it picks the best moments from 2010, I don't know when the hell y'all were born, but your mind kind of discriminates and picks and chooses, and what actually happened in the past versus what you remember are two different things. And I think about like my vintage toy collection, for example. I have some stuff here that, actually, let me grab it. I might as well grab it since we're here. When in Rome, let's move this fucking dinosaur. I'd never be taking this shit out. Oh, there goes everything falling. So like, let's see. So this, for example, this is a Stretch Screamer. This is from my childhood. Y'all ain't know nothing about this. We ain't have no iPads. This is one of my favorite toys as a child. This is not the one I had. I obviously bought this when I was an adult. But I always love these like rubber toy stretch noise things. I love the packaging on this. When did this come out? Does this have a date on it? But I always thought, they're super cool to have a little slime inside and shit. My brother and I would play with these. I collected this because of the nostalgia factor, as well as I probably would want to buy this even if I never owned it, because I just think it's cool as hell and I love the colors and the packaging and what this thing is. But I see a lot of the toy collectors that I follow or the toy channels that I watch and stuff. A lot of those people, and no shade to them, it's just they are so hell bent on reliving the 80s and wanting to be that kid in the 80s again. And that's dope, and you can collect so much cool stuff. A lot of my stuff is from the 80s, and I'm inspired by what they buy. I'm like, that looks cool, I'm gonna buy it too. It's cool to have those things and even to keep them in a museum, in your room, in your basement, whatever, and look at them and feel those fun feelings again. But just don't forget to live your life today and make new memories and buy new things and have new experiences. Because who's to say you can't make even more special memories today? You know, the memories of the past were incredible. Why can't they be even better? Why can't you make even better memories now? That's that. Peace out.